Thane can do it with my terrible notes.
I love when you do the recap. It's so good.
Okay, I'll begin. I started late. I wrote that in all caps on the first line of my notes here. A bunch of us had dreams. Navos had a dream about having two eyes, and someone said, "You're not meant to be here yet." There was a bunch of Morning Glory references. There's been in several games now, so that's interesting. Question mark. Thane has a dream about Lord Silverwater, who's laughing while I'm hurt, and I did not like that. I don't remember the other dreams. I'm not sure I was here when they were happening, but I'm sure they were not pleasant.
I can assist.
Please
I can
assist
fill
me.
in. Duncan's dreams were of a large battlefield, walking around in the remains of it, and it was full of all of the corpses were the faces of his students. And Brun did not have a dream. However, he was approached by a figure with like an undulating, multi-hinged arm, who delivered the box.
That's right.
That delivered the box that was tucked under his arm when he woke up. Continue.
Okay, so we had our Inquisition with Jebka, and phone is ringing.
Phone.
And Thane was going to give this strong and passionate speech, and ultimately they decided not to do that and just answer the questions like a normal person.
You're learning.
What else? Oh, we did our Inquisition in front of a group of people, which was what Thane was hoping for. And surprisingly, we were not turned to ash, so that was definitely a bonus. We were, however, given 1 year to solve Piebald's murder, but Jebka was Piebald's mom. 3 exclamation
The whole
points.
time.
Piebald's sigil was handmade, which was a big deal that we have it, because it was handmade and it's tied to him specifically. After the Inquisition, Navos scanned the crowd. There was a half-elf druid that stood out. There was a long-haired woman that stood out who turned out to be turned out to be Vox. There was a nondescript person who was kind of looking around, and we captured that person, and we are now taking them into a confessional, and we're going to make them confess what they're up to. And Thane is an old woman.
Thane is an old woman. Anyone have anything to add to that?
Just the fact that Kevin, now scared of Brun.
That's right.
Kind of rude. But yeah, that's all I have to add.
Anyone else?
Lest we forget.
Brun did have a one-on-one chat with the boss. Didn't go smoothly. But yeah, as part of the Inquisition, as part of the questioning, we asked if people would stand up for us, and Brun, despite vehemently not being about it, spoke up for Navos, and then stayed on the dais for the confession, and then everyone spoke up for Brun.
And then everyone cheered.
And everyone clapped.
And also, Brun's name might not be Brun. Brun's last name might not be Brun's last name, which is interesting.
Yep.
And also, I wrote a note in here that says, Brun considers Mahir divine, question mark. I don't know what what he said that made me think that, but I wrote that down, so that is in my notes now.
Incredible. All right, Andrew, for such a spectacular job, I will grant you... Ooh, what do we want to give you? Do you have any inspiration points right now?
No.
All right, give yourself a grand ol' inspiration.
I'm gonna go do that.
Oh yeah, Derek very, very kindly donated an inspiration so that Brun didn't absolutely fail something.
Yeah. Thanks, buddy.
Look at you all being friendly. So cute. All right.
I didn't like how that was. I didn't like that.
Yeah, for now.
We're gonna be turning against each other. Yeah.
Yeah, Curtis, what you missed was I was going to make somebody else pick your punishment, but they weren't about it. So, any hoozle. Yeah, I don't really have anything to add. You all, so 3 of you rather, kind of triangulated around the random guy that was paying a little too much attention to where Jepka and Duncan and Thane had gone, off to one of the side hallways, the entrance to a side hallway, and was just kind of like staring a little too intensely, paying a little too much attention. And the 3 of you managed to body your way through the crowd enough to surround him. And Brun is currently side-hugging this man aggressively.
Feet
through
are
the
basically
crowd.
just like, yeah, the toe, like, sort of picked him up in a hug and just like, kind of like looking down at him, and like have him squeezed up against me so the tips of his toes are dragging on the tiles.
Yeah, Duncan, you were in the kids' room where all of the children the unclaimed children have been placed for safekeeping for now. And Kevin is weeping into you and hugging you and looking for some bit of comfort in these horrible, horrible times. How long are you going to stay there, do you think?
Probably till he falls asleep from exhaustion.
Okay.
Yep.
Considering he hasn't slept, when you had seen him the first time, when Brun had seen him too, Kevin looked exhausted, but he looked like every time he closes his eyes, he sees things that he doesn't want to remember, right? So sleep did not come to him over the past night. Over the course of 5, 10, 15 minutes, Kevin eventually falls asleep. And we'll say that lines up right about with when everyone else is making their way through the crowd, because there had been a conversation going on as well. So it took you all a little bit of time to maneuver around the guy that you grabbed. Once Kevin falls asleep, Duncan, what are you doing? The other kids have been sitting and eating. Kevin's discarded bowl is left behind where he was sitting. And some of them are making attempts to play and bring the other kids into a better state of mind. The adults are trying their best to kind of distract them and keep them going. So what are you doing?
Well,
you gotta sleep in Kevin.
Yeah, so I'm looking for any like blankets that I can grab, kind of like wrap him up and kind of slide him off of me. I'll let the children play, and I'm looking to regroup with the rest of the party here, so we kind of talk about where are we going from here now. Like, what's our next move? We have a meeting, I think, with Jebka. She obviously saw our sigils, and she wanted to talk to us about that. How are we playing? So I'm looking for the rest of our group, so we can kind of meet up and decide where to go.
You can make your way back out the hallway, the opposite hallway from where you had met with Jepka, and you see your companions making their way through the crowd, kind of in a weird huddle. Brun usually has a pretty strong pace, but there's something weird going on with your crew, and there's also an old lady. You don't see Thane. But they're making their way toward the kind of confession areas. Confessionals, that's what they're called. I go to church. So you
Please,
can
my
catch
son,
up
come
with them.
to the confession area.
That's what they all say, I believe.
What do they say?
Welcome to the church. May I take your sins?
Thank you, Daddy.
Number 13, Burger King foot lettuce. So you're all together carrying this man, who after the initial snatch and run, he struggled a little bit, but he's kind of just like half limp in your arms, Brun. Like the eyes are still wide open, staring ahead, but he's not really like reacting anymore. What do, friends? What do?
Once we're out of line of sight from like most of the hall and we're in a quiet spot, I'm going to like I want to just put hands on sort of pin him up against the wall, like, and turn to the old woman and Nevos, and be like, make sure he doesn't have one of those, the necklace thing, like the cultist. Pat him down. I'm just kind of like, and like when you go to check his chest, the hand just moves up to cover most of his face and like palm him against the wall. Check him over.
Thane's actually going to be waiting outside of the confessional, like turning people away if anyone is trying to come in. So Thane can hear maybe what's happening, but they're like hanging out outside.
Okay.
I would say you could be near enough the door to kind of hear through just a bit.
Yeah.
Derek?
Nevos was trying to help push Brun along with as little strength as possible, but as soon as hearing like to pat him down, I'll do my best.
Yeah, because you had the best look on the amulet, so yeah, Brun will look to you for that.
I would say give me an investigation.
Can I assist?
And yes, I will grant you an advantage. Advantage. Is Derek's camera dead for anyone else, or is that just me?
It is dead for me as well.
Oh, sorry, not Derek. Evan.
Oh,
Evan.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
He's dead. He's gone.
We never saw Duncan again.
Thank you for the assist. That's a 16.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Okay.
Brun's telling you a couple of other places to look for any, like, this is where, like, this is where I know people have little hidden pockets, like.
Yeah, so as you're kind of making your way through all of these different locations on his person, he starts mumbling a little bit. You're kind of poking through things, and you realize, like, his clothing is very worn. It's been repaired several times to make it last longer. He's got the tiniest coin pouch with a single gold coin in it and like 3 copper. And you don't find, there he goes. You don't find anything
Dropping me. Can't hear anything.
resembling. Hey, welcome back. You don't find anything resembling that amulet or that carved bone piece you had seen. As you're getting close to him, the mumbling gets a little bit louder. It's very incoherent. Eyes are still wide open. You guys have a little bit of time here. What do?
If I just see the coin pouch, I'll leave it there. Nevos isn't interested, but I want to inspect. Once I hear the mumbling, I want to see if I can make out any words as well as check out their teeth. See if there's anything different about that could snap if they crunch down.
Yeah, I'll include that in your investigation as well. His mouth is mostly closed. This is like closed mouth mumbling going on here. And as you get closer to his face, the eyes focus on you for a brief moment, and you hear, "See you soon, El." And then his head slumps forward. Body goes slack. Brun is the only reason he's upright.
Nothing.
See you soon, L. Wait,
Mhm.
did I hear that?
Only found a pouch before they passed out.
I wasn't even squeezing that hard.
You hear very gentle snoring.
I guess that's better than what happened to the rat man. Do we
Shit.
force them back up again?
Does he look Brun kind of like lets the body go a little bit to see like if it slides against the wall or if it falls.
Oh yeah, gravity has such a strong hold on this man right now. He's doing nothing to keep himself upright.
He's either the best fake I've ever seen or he's actually unconscious. Did you catch anything he was saying?
When I got close, he said, "See you soon, L." I mean, I still need to talk to the druid. Their name is Lanoth, but I doubt it's them.
Brun's gonna like lean down and just gonna take the hand and just be like, "Hey, come on, wake up."
His head shoots upright.
Hi.
I'm up.
Good.
And he kind of he looks dazed. He looks very confused, like a little bit panicked. You've just woken a man up, looking around, bleary eyed. This is the first you saw his eyes really close. So he's trying to blink his eyes so that they rehydrate a little bit. Hello? Where am I?
You're in a potentially uncomfortable situation.
And he looks at you. It takes a moment between both of you. Duncan, are you in the room? Where are you at in all
I'm
this?
kind of walking over. I can see the rest of them are kind of crowded around something, but I don't know if I can
you see the
guy.
old
quite-
lady outside a confessional booth.
So you see the old woman turning people away. I'm sorry, dearie. My friend Gertrude's in there. She's incontinent. And just saying things to people who are coming up to turn them away. You had a mess.
Okay, so
Gertrude taking a shit in the confessional again.
as they do,
the
so I feel
confession area. The
What's that,
confession
Andrew?
area. Oh.
So he looks between
a cleansing
Brun,
place.
sees Navos, and there's this spark of recognition. Hello, tiny human. There's this spark of recognition. Oh, you're going to kill me, aren't you?
Kind of
You're going-
looking, seeing the
If you
look
want
to
the
Navos.
money, you just take the gold.
It's more.
I'll find another way.
You can keep the money. It's answers we need. You're a lot less intense now than you were just moments ago.
Okay. And he big yawn.
You were staring at us as well as our fellow members. We would like to know why.
Well, you're not taking the gold or killing me?
That's not the plan. I mean,
And he
Make this
looks at
quick.
Brun, who's still holding him upright.
Now, see, Brun's thing is taking your gold after you're already dead.
Yeah.
This man doesn't need to know that.
Brun just kind of looks to Navos and is just like, that's his call. Answer his questions, please. And gives like the most dead-eyed smile. It's just like trying to be kind of friendly, but just like,
But it's so uncomfortable. So he staring at you.
Yes, with this grimace, I mean.
I'm not. What time is it?
just after dawn.
Did you have there was well, you weren't executed. I can see that much. You're unless you were. Just after dawn. I overslept. When was I staring at you?
When the Inquisition finished.
The what?
Can I ask you, do you know someone by the name El?
Elle? And he takes a moment to think. Yeah, that's a nat one. That doesn't sound quite like a name. You sure? Is there someone important to you? I'm not sure I can help you find them.
I'm gonna look to Bron. Is he playing a game? What is this?
I have a theory. I don't know, Alexis, if this is above game knowledge or if this is something Brun would know. Have there been stories of people being controlled through their dreams that would be known in like a religious lexicon or a religious background? I don't know if this is Curtis Brain overstepping what Brun knows.
Give me either a history or a religion or something.
Cool.
Give me some kind of roll here.
We will do religion for sure.
Do a strength roll. Strength check.
Just like, I'm so swole.
Listen, the brain is nothing but a big muscle, right?
It's true.
That is a 12
What's in your
plus 2.
brain?
12 plus 2 for a 14.
14 about it. Okay. You think of the various stories that you've been told, that you've heard. You're coming up blank on this one.
Okay. Are you from around here?
Sort of. I came in for the festival. About 2 days travel.
What's your name?
I'm Gerald Ferron.
Well, Gerald. I'm torn. You see. Because I don't think you're just a sleepy old man. And I really would like to get those answers from you.
I'm answering everything I know.
And that's the problem.
Is Duncan with Thane now?
Yeah.
I'm probably outside
Duncan,
talking to
there's
this
an old lady telling you about Gertrude's
Gertrude's
incontinence.
bowel movements.
Is there anything I can do to help? Like, I can go get the guards to give us some extra
I've got
pads.
some lay on hands.
No,
I got
it's okay.
hands.
You should
I
go
got
in
Papa
and
Hernia
help.
right back in there.
You should go in and help. Maybe you can remind the others that we did just meet an Inquisitor who might be able to interview someone better than we can.
Yeah. Easy enough. You can make your way in. It's getting very tight in this room.
It's at that moment, like during that conversation, Brun pokes his head out and is like about to shout and sees Duncan and is like, "Oh, here, tag out with me. I'm losing my cool with this guy."
Okay.
Brun-
And then I think it's going to come on Duncan that this old lady in front of him is actually sane. And he's like, oh. And I'm just going to kind of push her aside and like lose all my care for like the bowel movements and stuff. And
all the
move
compassion
into
is gone.
the confessional area.
As they're
Where I'm
swapping
seeing now
out,
this.
as they're I just want to see, could I hold their hand as well as like just like read their palm a bit? And as
Sure.
I'm doing it, I want to ask, what do you do or had done for work?
I'm a farmer. I grow corn. We have for generations. I'm not sure what that has to do with anything.
I just wanted to see if your hands line up with what you're saying.
My hands? Okay. This man looks terrified, by the way.
Yeah. So yeah, I just want to see, does this line
Yeah.
up?
Yeah, give me a roll to read this man's hands.
Let's go. I don't know. Insight, 18.
His hands are thickly calloused, kind of cracks along the edge of where the skin goes from very thick to the thinner skin on the top of the hand. You see hands that are familiar with wooden-handled tools. There's dirt underneath short, worn-down nails. The knuckles are starting to get arthritic, a little bit bulbous, just a bit. The hand isn't very supple. It doesn't bend or close very well anymore. Looking further beyond the hand, his arms are fairly taut. The muscle beneath them is quite strong, even for a mildly older man. Like 40s to 50s, this guy. He's tanned. A lot of kind of sunspots going on up and down the arm and on the back of the hand. Deep lines to his palm.
It's scarred at all? Are the fingerprints normal, or do they look burned?
Yeah, there are some scars. There's half a pinky missing, that kind of thing. There's a different nail is like half busted off, so it's just the bed of the nail is left. Some scarring across the palm. It's faded over time. That's about it.
Okay. I'll look over. Duncan. Having a little bit of an issue here. He was
I'm
staring. at
trying.
us.
Is that
I'm sorry.
am I wrong in thinking that's a crime?
No, it just seemed very intense going between us and asking him something that he has said.
I mean-
before. Seems like he has no idea between falling asleep for a moment.
Is he okay? Is he having blackouts? Can I do a medicine check to see, kind of like check him over to make sure he's like okay,
Yeah.
and like he's not having a concussion or something?
Yeah, you can give him a medicine check.
18 plus medicine is 4, so 22.
He seems well
I'm
rested.
gonna do like a quick check. But he seems well rested, but he keeps yawning.
Well, he just woke up.
Oh, okay. So he's like at that.
This is like-
sleepy.
He's kind of very gently like working the muscles. He seems like he feels kind of stiff. And yeah, just yawning here and there, kind of a little bit of a stretch, trying to get blood pumping again, moving. No concussion signs. No. Just a very perplexing older man.
Well, I mean, as much as we can do, he really didn't do anything wrong by just staring at us. We were on Inquisition. I mean, I think everybody was kind of staring at us as well. You said he had said something?
Yeah, before falling asleep, he said, "See you soon, L." And then fell asleep,
L.
woke him up, and someone says he has just completely...
Like the letter, or like a short form of like Ellie?
Just the letter,
Just the letter
as
L.
far as I could tell. And he doesn't seem to remember.
All I've done, I got here with several other folks,
Mhm.
and a gentleman approached me
Oh,
and
gentlemen.
handed me this gold and said to spread word that a group of 4, including, he points to Navos, the purple thing, were the cause of all this.
Person, he's not a thing, but continue.
His words, not mine, I promise. And I took the gold and did what I was supposed to, and then and I woke up against a wall, and you're not gonna kill me.
No,
Do you
absolutely.
remember what this? There will be no killing here. Do you remember what this gentleman looked like? And I'll make sure when I say that there'll be no killing here, I'm kind of looking at him, but also turning my head to behind the confessional, to the door. There will be no killing here.
Brun had his ear pressed to the confessional and just kind of goes,
Cup. Drat. Flavor no swiping.
just
Foiled
crosses
again.
his arms and just waits outside.
Um,
Can you describe this gentleman for me? Do you recognize him at all?
not really. He just kind of nice clothes.
Human?
Nicer than
or
mine. Yeah,
human or human?
Human.
Human.
He kind of talked like one of those fancy guys, fancy pants, city guys.
Do you
Kind-
know Lord
a little
Silverwater
like-
by chance? You know what he looks like?
Who?
Lord Silverwater? He was just in that night championship. He won last year. He really shouldn't. He kind of won on a technical, but that's where he was. Do you watch
I've
the
never
bout?
talked to him.
Well,
Did I
you don't
watch?
talk to
No.
him. Yeah. Okay.
No,
So-
I was selling, trying to sell. Not so many
Would-
people trying to buy.
Would Duncan know if there's
Cool.
any iconography of Lord Silverwater anywhere in this temple? Like a picture of him?
In the temple, no. He's
Are there like flyers
from
about?
not really. They don't really have banners and such out. Especially not in the temple. This is not where you advertise the lordship.
Well, yeah, fair. I don't know if anybody like brought them in this kerfuffle.
You would know that
You know.
the Silverwater family has a crest. But that's all of the fancy families.
Easily
tend to.
drawable crest?
You tell me. What does this crest look
Thane-
like?
Thane's gonna lean into the confessional and change their face into Lord Silverwater's face.
Oh, that's right.
Impeccable.
I forgot you're a shapeshifter. That would actually come in handy. Hey, Thane, get in here!
No, we did that.
Get in there.
We're right
Get in
here.
there.
We are right here.
Is this the man that you talked to?
No.
Oh,
Um,
interesting. Okay.
Thane's gonna switch
Yeah.
back to the old lady. Back up.
in front of this guy?
Does this freak him out?
Yeah, who
Yeah,
cares?
it does. It does. Absolutely freak him out. And he's like looking to Duncan, looking to Navos, like looking back at Thane. Are you still poked through the door, by the way?
No.
Okay,
we're
you bit bopped out. Okay.
Yep.
While you're outside, giving this story about incontinence, what else are you doing? Anything else? Trying to keep an
Yes.
eye out?
Yes. So Thane was doing that originally, but when Brun came out, so Thane's going to turn to you, like kind of in the lulls of this conversation, and they are wearing the face of like the sweetest old woman that you will ever see. We never got the chance to express how sad we were and how sorry we were about Mahir. I hope that you don't feel responsible.
Question for the GM.
Uh-oh.
Is this Cynthia's face? Actually, this would be a question for Thane then. Is this the old woman that we saw earlier, who gave Brun the bow tie?
Oh shit! So Thane would have just.
That'd be fucking brutal.
Can I roll for this? Because Thane was just picking a random woman, but they had
Roll
seen
to
this.
see how accurate you are to Cynthia's
To
likeness.
Cynthia? Oh, that would. Oh man,
am I
'cause
adding
that's gonna be
anything?
Performance.
Am I adding anything to my proficiency? I rolled a 13.
It's kind of like a performance.
I don't know.
If you would like to make it a performance, or perhaps a history.
Yeah, let's do history, and that's going to be a 15 in this case.
Okay.
Seriously, because I'm better at that.
Brun, looking at this face, it's very similar. There's a couple of small details, like you are someone who's familiar with analyzing faces to remember later. This is a fairly decent representation of Cynthia's features. The voice is a bit different. The pattern of speech is different. Thane didn't really hear her talk to you so much. But appearance-wise, I think she's a little bit taller. The wrinkles don't fall quite the same way, but the eyes are the same. The hair is very close, styled a little differently. And in this setting, it's kind of odd. You had been looking for Cynthia in the temple. You didn't see her.
Yeah. I think seeing Thane, you get the very distinct impression that if this had been Thane saying this, Brun would have sort of brushed it off. There's a brief moment of like, and then I gotta find him. I was responsible. I still am responsible for him.
Ron, just so you know, no one person is capable of shouldering the burden of the world. Not even someone who is very, very strong. Like you. You don't have to do this alone. In fact, you're not doing it alone. And whatever path that we're all on now, for better or worse, is going to be the path that brings Ahir back.
The eyes sort of well up a little bit, and then a quick blink and a focus, and now he's sort of seeing through the old woman to Thane. We're on this job. We're on the same path. I know I can't carry the world. That's why I set my sights much, much smaller. I need to get him back. That kid is a small world that I can carry on my shoulders.
Well, small world or big, we will still try to help. And that's all we can do. And Thane is kind of getting this impression like, okay, this is a raw nerve, clearly. But they wanted to make sure that, Brun was aware, especially just having this Inquisition, that, like, we're doing this. We're a team at this point. And Thane's going to turn away and just kind of keep a lookout now, making sure that no one's...
When you go to turn, the hand comes out and, like, wraps around your arm and...
Careful, I bruise.
I'm old.
Squeeze me hard enough, I'll shit my pants.
I'm old.
I'm incontinent.
Look. So... I'm sorry. The kid and his old man are all that I've had for a long time. I'm not used to others having my back like that. Thank you for what you did up there.
What we did up there. And Thane's looking out at the crowd now.
Right. I'll thank them in time. And he'll let you go. And Brud's also going to look out in the crowd. Brud's looking for Vox. Because I know Vox is around here somewhere.
Looking from this area, you don't see most of the people that were out at the Inquisition. It's very hard to take a peek.
Brud, like, just a quick look around and goes, and then is going to sort of poke my head in to see how the questioning is going. The gentle questioning. The definitely not killing questioning.
Yeah, so Duncan, you had asked if Gerald recognized the face of Silverwater.
Yes.
No, I don't really have time to dilly-dally at the tournament. I need to
never
try
seen he's a
sell
pretty
my
prominent
corn.
figure in the area.
I mean, a lot of the people who come here, they're trying to sell stuff or buy stuff, and the tournament is not as important and he kind of like, you see his hand go to where that scrawny little coin pouch is.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like kind of rubbing the outside of it on the coin, the gold coin that Navos found. Like just a nervous kind of fidget. I'm not sure who Elle is, and I'm not sure about staring at you. I don't know who Silverwater is, really. He's not the guy I talked to me, rather. I didn't really get to say much in return. But he told me that if I do the job, I get the money, and handed it to me and said, "We'll be watching." And so I did my job.
He never set up a meeting point afterwards. Just said that he would be
No.
watching.
Just made it clear that they would know if I'd done my job.
How many days ago did they tell you about this?
Well,
About the four of us just read this rumor.
It's just yesterday.
What time yesterday?
And he looks at Navos and he's like, if I don't know the time, is he gonna kill me?
Nobody's going to kill you. You're not going to die. No, there will be no harm. We're just trying to get information.
No physical harm.
No harm.
What?
No harm.
Duncan, you're
before
really
sundown?
taking the winds out of this conversation for me.
We were interrogating a man who doesn't even remember who he was, where he was for the last an hour or so, or
just
overnight.
before sundown. So, it's just sun was going down, and
But after the explosion,
yeah,
after all the monsters and everything.
yeah, I came in with a group that the god brought in, and from there spent a little time here, and then this guy came over and started talking at me, gave me the money and left. I haven't seen him since.
Seems like a weird time to do business transactions, but
Sounds like a weird time to set us up to take the fall.
Is there anything else I can
Well,
answer
short of-
for you? Maybe.
of doing anything else to this man, I don't think he has any more answers for us.
Wait right here. Brett's gonna pull his head out of the confessional and go like down to the next confessional and poke his head in and be like, "Vox, I need you."
How many people can we fit in here? It's like a clown.
It's
circus.
just like literally
bear.
walking to like the next stall in a restroom and just in a
But yeah,
bathroom
she
and
doesn't listen in. She just like opens the confessional door and sticks her head
slides the door open. Oh, that's so much better.
in. I've been here the whole time.
Yes. No.
Brun is absolutely expecting Vox has been in this, like has been within earshot the entire time.
She's sitting on the other side with another cup.
Everybody's got cups. No.
Oh man,
You
I just want
barge
to say, if the thing slides back, like where the priest would sit, that's amazing. That's
Yeah,
such
there's
cool-
definitely one of those in this room.
It's,
I've gone
it's
to
a
church.
confessional.
Yeah, it's a confessional. There's a little peephole window if you want the priest
There's
to
a
give you
what?
the disappointed dad look.
No people.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Yeah,
remember how you guys
people.
were making all of these references to sports that I didn't understand?
Also, this also
Catholicism
applies
is
to
very-
Catholicism. That's fair. Christianity and sports, honestly, that Venn diagram's a circle. Like, the Crusades are just the Super Bowl, and they
There's a
don't
lot of
end well.
enthusiasm for people they'll never meet.
Friday Night Light.
So
Oh man,
roll for me.
I got my D100s. I'm ready for it.
D100. Roll for Vox.
44. That would be a crit in Call of Cthulhu. Or Delta Green. That's a crit in Delta Green. I'm just saying. And Vox doesn't play by our rules.
Oh, I rolled a 7. That's a crit in something else. That's a crit in Yahtzee.
You open this door, and your eyes take just a moment to adjust because this room is dark. There is a long-haired woman leaning in the booth. So nice to see you. How can I help?
One of these days, I'm never sure if I'm disappointed when you're not there or disappointed when you are. I assume you heard everything.
Matron.
That's why we don't hug anymore.
Here,
I'm
I thought it was
assuming you
because of the
heard.
tongue. Anyway, what do you need?
I assume you've already heard everything that this guy's saying.
She kind of like is filing nails, kind of. I would never eavesdrop on a confession.
Conveniently, there are no Eves here. Answer the damn question.
Maybe. What do you want? What do you need from me? I want to hear you say it, because it brings me joy.
I need you to keep an eye out. I need you to follow this guy and figure out who the fuck he's meeting with. To get the other half of his money for doing what he said.
I need from you instead answers. How did the call go? And Vox is like a little twitchy asking that. Usually they've got at least a facade of bravado. That question is deeply uncomfortable for them.
Brun holds up his hands, wiggles all 10 fingers. It could have been worse. I'm personally on the hook for Mahir.
Roll an insight.
Natural goddamn 20. Oh, what a time.
That's a crit in D&D. That should count.
That's
we
a
are
crit
playing
in
D&D.
D&D,
That is
you're
a
right.
crit in D&D. Oh no,
Unfortunately, skills don't crit, right?
So for a 21, skills do not
okay.
crit. You are correct.
Skills do not correct.
Look at me knowing things.
Yeah. I do
so-
like that's a crit in a different system. It still counts.
That's a crit in Fishblade. So
Thirsty sword lesbians, we're golden.
looking at Vox, this is a face that they've worn before. And you would expect to see kind of frayed edges, I'll say. Like there are faults in how they present other faces, right? Like it's not a perfect setup, especially if you've seen the trick before.
Mhm.
This face looks more solid and tied to them than you've ever seen before. It's hard to find the edges of this illusion. And because of that, the emotions that they would ordinarily be able to hide so well are able to you're able to catch them. You say about you're personally on the hook. They glance off to the side, like their eyes flick to the side a little bit, like their brain is processing something. there's tension in them when you say that. Like, they tense up. And he, like, there's a little bit of a hitch to the breathing. So you get the feeling that the answer you've given is a relief and a concern. Mostly a concern. Well, I guess that means I'm scot-free. I'll follow your man, in that case. I don't need to hide myself from our own. So good luck with that. You said this guy is going to collect more money or something? I could
Half
go
payment
collect
up.
money.
Half payment up front. No. I don't want the buyer dead. Not yet.
The eyes roll.
This is going to be a long-term problem for me. And I don't know if you caught the show. I'm on 2 timers now.
Kind of squints at you. What's the second one?
Whatever the gardener's given me, and 1 year before I get ripped to pieces by some
Oh,
sun
that.
dogs.
You will make
Personally
a
ripped to
mighty
pieces.
feast for them.
They
Can't
don't
wait.
chew.
No, but they do poop. So that'll be a big one. Anyway, follow the guy, see who he talks to, yada 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 yada.
Figure
Sure,
out
no
who-
killing. You sure about that? Because, like, you know my skill set. It's so much more fun if
It
I
is.
get to actually do what I'm good at. Following people is boring, especially when they're just poor peasant farmers who have corn.
Once
I'm not poor anymore.
once you find
Yes,
the
a whole
man
gold.
who's
So not
paying.
poor.
Once you find the man, everyone, this is Vox, by the way, if you haven't already met, and like slides open the little door.
You get the little toodaloo
It's-
type fingers.
Yeah, like
"Hello."
it's this big with the little grill. Follow, and then it shuts the grate. He's like, follow the guy, and there's a pause, and then the grate shuts. Find out who has the money. Make your way, follow that money up the chain, and find whoever is trying to pin this shit on me, and then you can kill them.
So many and thens. Ugh. Fine.
I'm sorry, you
As
wanted
long
a
as I'm
simple
not
job. You can go
Being
back to
hunted
robbing
down by the
kindergartners.
boss because I didn't lose his kid. I will do this for you because I am so great at my job.
Consider it my dying wish. If that makes
You know what
feel
my
better.
dying wish would be? And there's this look in the eyes that's very suggestive. You're not there. Don't worry. Anyway, anything else? You got your box. You had your talk. The head is just kind of flopping back and forth. This is one of those moments where I wish I had a camera on me because I love doing the motions of us. It's like, anything else? Good, perfect. And they start
Keep-
standing up to like push past you.
When you get a chance, send a message to the Boneberries. We'll probably be in their neck of the woods.
Interesting choice.
Yeah.
I'll make a note of that.
Appreciate it.
We'll have fun. And this lady.
Fred will open the door to the confessional to let her out.
So I like to
As-
imagine. Oh, go ahead.
as she leaves, like just before stepping out, she like messes her hair up, like dishevels the clothes a little bit, and is like blushing and like
Brun, like,
fluttering herself a little bit.
Brun reaches out a hand and exposes a shoulder and then like pats her on the head and pushes her out.
And like there's this playful like you dirty dog type thing going on like through the door as she giggles and pulls the door shut, looks over at Thane, gives a little wink, and like flounces away.
I feel like there's this moment where Thane and Vox see each other both in forms different than the first time they had seen each other.
Game
And it's like that
recognizes
umbrella.
game.
Yeah, it's like that Umbrella Academy meme where they're like passing each other in the cars.
So you would know, Thane. Vox has seen you in separate forms because you appeared as a lady the very first time. So she's they're onto you a little bit. And the fact that you're hanging out with this group and you weren't in the other box, the confessional, they know what's up. That's what the wink was for.
And I imagine Thane knows too because Ron just introduced Vox to the group
Yeah.
and said
Yep.
the name Vox, and I know the name Vox, and I know that I know their relationship already. So, yeah, it's just an interesting moment.
Yep, so they're gonna bip bop down the hall and disappear. Brun, as they were passing by you, as the light hit, you realized that the shadow they're casting and the space they're taking up is wrong for the current form they're showing. So you can do with that what you will. But anyway, back to Confessional 1.
Special one.
We've
Brun will poke his head back in and be like, I think I have nothing else. I don't know if you guys do.
Yeah, I guess the only other question, I'll reach out my hand to kind of help Gerald up. Gerald, is it right? Have you eaten
Yeah.
breakfast this morning?
Not yet. I'm kind of hungry. You
All
smell
right.
it?
Why don't you go get something for breakfast? Enjoy yourself. Take a minute, recuperate, and sorry about all this business.
I'm real sorry for staring at you, I guess.
It's okay. We all do things. It's uncertain times these days. Why don't you go get yourself some breakfast?
Right.
Thank you for your time. I'm gonna kind of like push him out of the
Okay,
confessional booth.
Sorry. And he'll kind of like stumble out, like blink around at the more light that's out here. Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, of course.
Sorry.
There is one more. I just do you have change? And Thane's gonna be like rooting through like as if they have a coin purse. Do you you had mentioned having some money from that you got from someone? I'm not gonna. I don't want it for free. I just want. I have a bunch of coins here. I just was wondering if we could exchange fairly a fair exchange.
All I've got is the 1 gold, and
That's okay.
a couple of copper.
Thane is going to. I think we established in the beginning that we have some cash, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thane's going to hand over 1 gold piece or an equivalent of that, and
Do you want to trade a gold for a gold?
Yes, I want to get the gold that they were given by the rich person who paid them.
Oh, you might think it's cursed.
Yeah, you could give them. You could give him like 10 silver, in exchange for the gold.
We will do that, and then
I guess this
The
is
1 gold coin.
here. Thank you. I think.
goodbye. Sleep with one eye open.
Goodbye.
Away. And he'll like stumble away, looking back over his shoulder at you, kind of like, "What the heck was that?"
But yeah, Thane wants to look at that, that piece of gold and see if they can suss out anything peculiar about it. Anything that stands
What
out.
would you like to roll for that?
Oh man!
And how are you sussing?
So my initial thought was Arcana, but Thane doesn't know anything about Arcana. Am I able to do history instead, and see if I can? I mean, Thane, I imagine growing up has kind of been told like where the seats of power are. Like, oh, this is where money is printed. These are the people at the top. Can I just look for anything that's printed on this coin as to where it's from or when it was made? Anything like that?
Yes. Yes, you can do that. Give me that history then.
That is going to be. Why are you not rolling? I will roll a physical dice. That's a 5. So never mind.
Even with a 5, the gold that you have is from your area. The patterns on it are different from this gold piece. So you don't know like exactly where it's from, but you do recognize that it is a different location from your region.
Well, we did find this, and Thane doesn't care about money, so they're just going to hand it to whoever walks out of the confessional next.
Well, I was already walking out.
Give Duncan the cursed coin! Hooray!
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to give that to Duncan.
Okay, I'll take the coin.
Derek, you've been very quiet. What is Navos up to as all of this is going down? Because everyone else has been kind of asking questions, poking and prodding. Like, you got to look at the hand. You got to kind of take in this guy's mannerisms. What's going on with Navos?
Just confused as to what's happening. Wondering if there's some type of, I don't know if a spell was cast, or wondering if there's something about like memories being changed after sleep has happened. Wondering if there's maybe a spell put on, perhaps the coin or something, that they were able to look through this man's own eyes while everything was happening.
It isn't even a cone at all. He rubs off the gold as a sending stone the entire time.
Suggestion stone.
Yeah.
The stone of sleepy time.
Okay. So, with all of those questions in mind, you think to your own experiences where you were not in control of yourself. Roll for me something. What are we feeling for this? You want to do Arcana? You want to do History or Insight? Or what are you thinking?
Yeah. Either Arcana or History.
You pick.
We'll go with History for now.
All right. Give it a roll.
It's a nat 20.
Oh, it's a crit. In D&D.
It's a crit in D&D? What?
It's a crit 3.5.
Well, I guess that means
Only
something.
we do the specific systems.
So,
In AD&D.
you consider the actions that you witnessed, both before grabbing him, during the transport, and while he was in the confessional booth with you, and then after seemingly waking up. And the confusion is kind of weird to you. You've pretty much always remembered in far more detail than you might care to the things that you've had to witness for your own stuff. So like, especially like when you were being puppeted almost in the square just after you woke from the explosion. Like that sort of, the body doesn't move quite right. It's somebody who's not familiar with your body is moving it. And you get kind of a similar feeling from everything you've witnessed with Gerald.
How's my head been?
No
Since
complaints.
waking up, you kind of poke the recesses of your mind where that feeling should be, and there's still nothing. Like even with what you wrote in your journal, with the morning glories, like even that, while you were doing that, you didn't feel that pressure, that anticipation, that hunger that you would expect. Still nothing.
Strange. And Gerald was yawning a bit. Was he holding his head at all? You said there was no concussion signs.
There were no signs of concussion. There was like some stretching, some shifting uncomfortably, like trying to work knots out of the joints, that kind of thing. Bit of shuffling on the feet, like his feet are getting tired. Signs of discomfort. Clearly, signs of upset. Very nervous, very scared, especially with Brun. Concerned looking at you, but your tone kind of helped that case. Duncan, being a human man, seemed to be more comfortable. Thane freaked him right out with the face flip.
But he was two different humans.
Yeah, we do that.
Yep, all in the span of like a second.
Yeah, I'll exit the booth. Say to the group, I'm sorry about that. I thought I saw something, but I was just worried, I guess. And
You still might be onto something. I haven't ruled it out yet, but
Well,
I think we just need more answers.
and
As
it's something to keep in our minds. Just, hey, we're possibly being watched and people are trying to kill us or have us
Discredit
killed.
us as well.
Yes.
as I exited, I also wanted to take a look into the crowd, see if I can spot Lanoth again.
That
Yeah,
was
that's
the
true.
druid, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. You take a look around, and people are more active. It's a little easier to see a larger portion of the group because people are shifting around and moving and whatnot. They're not all just like huddled under blankets and such. And unfortunately, you cannot find them.
Okay. Well, there's somebody I need to talk to, but I can't spot him now. What do we think at this point?
We have this coin here, and I'll kind of show it. Does Duncan? He works at a commercial. He has a business. All kinds of coinage comes through his business. Does he recognize this off the top of his head? Like where this kind of coin comes from?
Why don't you give me a history as well?
Sure.
Or a knowledge roll or something.
Yeah, it's a 9. I think it's a crit and something.
It's a superior success in most Powered by the Apocalypse games. 9
There you
plus is you get what you want.
Yeah, but that's rolling 2d6. So
It's still a 9.
You-
9 and 12.
you recognize the coin, like you've seen it before. The patterns on it, the design. You don't really remember where it's from.
But I do
Usually, it's you recognize it. You've seen this kind of coin before. Yeah.
Well, if we want to meet again with Jebka, if there's anything left with her, we can maybe see about getting horses or transportation. The goal should. We have a year, so we should be getting on this new mission as soon as we can.
Uh, when you get to be my age, years kind of feel like days. So it's really not as much time as you think it is.
You are literally speaking to an ancient old woman. And the whole crowd thinks you're so silly. Everyone who just saw that happen.
Everybody's laughing at you.
This guy mansplaining aging to an old
to
woman.
an old crone.
I've seen plenty, dearie.
I've seen so much shit you wouldn't believe. It's all Gertrude's.
So I'm gonna take the coin and I'm gonna put it in the same pouch that I have the holy symbol sigil. that
what
I
were
got
you
from
saying, Andrew?
Piebald.
We should try to hit the road. We don't know how safe the city is beyond the temple, but we should try to leave, like, soon.
Go where?
Well, we need to meet with the Archbishop.
But I mean, we still don't have that meeting. You know, we need someone. If anybody can help us, it's probably Jebka. You know,
Then
we're
let's
cleared of
meet
all
Jebka.
charges. Yeah, it's. I
You
agree
would
with you. I think
remember
we. I would
That
remember.
Jepka did mention that they wanted to chat with you
About our
before you
glowing.
left,
About
Yes.
the glowing.
and that they
Yeah,
might
cool.
have a way to meet with the Archbishop sooner than you had expected.
Yes.
Yeah.
And maybe
Sooner rather
Jebka
than
can
later.
give us some info on that coin, too, because all of us are dummies.
Well, two of you are.
So.
I'm not a banker.
Did anybody else want to take a look at the coin before it gets put into a pouch?
We still never checked it for magic.
Yeah, I can take a look at it.
Okay, here you go.
Thank you.
Derek, if you had reached up and pulled a coin, single coin
I
is
was
that
just
stricken
thinking
by
that.
the light.
I was it'd be great. I have nothing close nearby.
I texted him
quarter.
before the session. I sent him one in the mail.
It'll be there for next week.
Bryn, why don't you go ahead and roll history on this as well?
Yeah.
Nevos is rolling for what?
I'll do Arcana.
Okay.
Can I?
No.
Nope.
Sorry.
Okay.
Can you what?
History it is. Never mind. GM says no. I agree.
No, what do you want?
I was gonna see if because Brun knows coin. He's picked up a couple off of the dead folks around here.
I have so many dead people coin. I know all about
dead
coin.
people money. Just to prove it's genuine, or if it is I'll go last because I feel like he's gonna do the thing where he puts it in his mouth, tries to bend it a little bit.
Just cooties
Yeah,
all over it.
So Brun will let Navos go first.
After everyone touches it and it's in everyone's nasty hands, then you're going to put it in your mouth.
Yep.
Nasty hand. Thank you
Checks
very
out.
much. I think you're being ableist.
Wow.
Hands,
Beers,
plural,
the
because there's
month
multiple
front?
ones. Multiple people.
What'd you get, Derek?
That's 21.
Okay. I am trying to open a file. I am so sorry. A 21. You are taking a good, strong look at this coin. Oh, come on. Please load. I'm on different internet tonight, so things are having a time. Yeah. You are looking closely at this coin, inspecting it for magic. And based on the magic that you're familiar with, there's nothing that you're really picking up on. There is an inscription on the coin, and it's Etharni holds our trust. It's in Elvish.
This is something I'm not familiar with. There is something magical about it, but the only thing I can read is Ethani holds our trust. No clue.
Correction, no notable magic. Inscription in Elvish. But otherwise mundane.
Okay.
Atharni holds our trust. Brun, what did you get for your history?
Natural 20 for
24. How'd you roll that on a 20?
Yeah, that's a crit in AD&D.
what's my history? My history's +0, so just a straight up natural 20.
Yeah, Atharni is an elven city. To the northeast of Kahlo. Pretty big place, comparable in size and power to Kahlo.
So why? Like, and Brud's kind of looking at it and like flicks it, and it looks real. It looks like a genuine like minted thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's got proper patterns of wear, as though it has exchanged hands several times.
Have I seen anybody in any of the pockets that I've looted? Did any of them have elven gold on them? Like a Tharni minted gold? Or do they have Kahlo? Or is it all from Kahlo? Is it all like regionally minted?
Most of it was from Kahlo. There's a couple that are like from separate places, but
no Tharni.
Not really any Atharni.
So
Duncan, that name would be mildly familiar to you. It's a great city, large city to the east of your hometown.
This
to
is
the north.
Hometown, Duncan? To the north.
Is Thane familiar with this city? If it's so great and potentially has a very structured hierarchy.
And a working class that needs to be rescued.
Is there a working class that needs to be liberated in the city of Arthon? And is Thane aware of any members of the Celestial Collective who may have been sent there?
I would say you are not familiar with anyone who's been sent to Atharni.
But I know a person.
You could know a guy if you really wanted to.
I know a guy. We might know someone from work.
So Atharni is kind of a weird one. It is an old elven city. Brun, some of the families, the ruling families of Kahlo, are from Atharni. They trace their roots back through Tish, because elves and trees.
Oh, shit.
Ooh, I was like trees.
Thane would
Trees like
know
elves.
that it is considered a seat of power. In some respects, it is a powerful old place.
Would Navus have been to a festival there?
Ooh, that's a good question. You've traveled quite a bit. How about a D100?
Okay.
High or low? Let's go high. If it's a higher number, you have been there. If it's a lower number, you have not.
I have not, unfortunately.
Okay.
It's a 50. You were invited but turned away at the gates. You got
Everyone
bounced.
look at you. Yeah, you may have heard of it in passing, but it's been a while since you've been in that part of the continent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I picture more
So-
from... Well, I started my journey more towards the south, so it might have not hit this
Yeah,
area
that's kind of what I was thinking. I figure you've probably wandered farther north, but just not over that far to the toward that corner.
yet. Mm.
Northeast.
So whoever our buyer is has elven gold. Which
Yeah, but a
means
lot of
then-
people have elven gold. I mean, I've seen these coins before.
Not in any of the pockets I've been in today. Yesterday.
I like to imagine Brun has just been like dipping in pockets through the crowd,
Just
like
you have it.
kind of subconsciously.
Any gold?
Any here?
Any
Nope,
gold in there?
not in here. Not in here.
These
Hey, what else you
refugees
got?
don't need the money.
Yeah, what do they need money for? These
None of the
Just in case we need a mystery mouse
Fortune.
tool. Oh, that guy's got something in his pocket I've seen.
I know a guy. That man has the clues. This
he runs. You have to chase him through the streets.
Let's go.
I've chased
He
him.
leaves blue paw prints everywhere.
I have chase music.
Try me.
We might. Whoever is paying these people is either trying to get noticed or didn't think about it and just has this like spending money. And he kind of holds up the coin. Because most of the people here wouldn't give this away as a bribe.
Well, if we are going to meet Jebka, Jebka might know who has been in and out of the city, especially if they're potential foreign dignitaries. We have to head there anyway. I mean, we could at least bring it up. Wisdom. The wisdom of age.
Looks at Duncan.
He forces a laugh.
Duncan, do you have a-
Looks at Navos, who's like at least 60.
Duncan, do you have a
No,
rule
man.
for? Don't you have a rule for something like this about being polite to your elders?
Actually, no, I don't.
Maybe work
There's
on
I have a
that.
rule of being polite to everyone.
Starting to sound like me. Thane's gonna start hobbling toward where we know to find Jebka.
Okay.
Brud will graciously, like, sort of overblowing it. Ma'am, would you please take my arm? Let me help you through this crowd. Just
You're
like
so
very
sweet.
much leaning into the bit.
Someone's getting their
And they
Boy
say
Scout badge
chivalry is
today.
dead.
Help an old woman
yeah.
across the Great Temple.
Oh. Yeah, you
Duncan.
guys have just been doing laps back and forth.
Duncan, does this get me a merit badge? Like shouts it
All
across
right.
the temple as we but Brun will absolutely be
Duncan.
like with everyone to go talk to Jepka. I feel like that's a good transition line.
Okay. Perfect. Anything else for right now before we go talk to Jepka?
No, yeah, I'm excited to talk to Jebka. Kind of get some answers here.
Yep.
Okay, well, in
following,
that
just
case,
taking a look for the druid. That's about it.
okay. Let's take a 15 because I have to switch laundry.
Okay.
We'll be back at 8:45. I know that's not how math works.
That's a
but
12.
it's June.
We'll take a 12.
Yeah,
that's fine. Yeah,
that's
it is
a
our
crit.
month of pride.
Yeah,
That is a 12 is a crit.
You ask too much.
Yeah, that's a crit in Texas Hold'em
All
poker, I
right.
believe.
8:45. Be here or be Brun.
Oh, I'm so glad that's a new bit. I'm very happy with that bit. Ugh.
I'm gonna go pee. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I don't know if Alexis expected us to like grab onto this sleepy old man and be like, "Tell me everything you know," or if we got Boblin the Goblin.
Yeah, just like kind of quickly rewrite a story for
Who's
him.
this NPC and why are they important to me now?
Why are they staring at me? As we beat everybody up, as we gallivant to the town, just beating the shit out of people. Why are they staring at us?
Why would they look at me so funny? Don't they know I'll fight
Jeez.
people?
Jeez,
Sure.
can I get a moment of privacy in this Inquisition that I asked to be in front of everyone?
Yeah, in this in this public court, I'm entitled to my privacy.
But I wanted it.
This public hearing that I requested. I'm not going to speak to the public, you animals. I specifically made it so the media could show up, so I could call it a media circus and discredit the whole thing.
I mean, they're like vultures.
Yeah. Vultures that I invited, but that's beside the point. They're still vultures.
I think we latched to the coin too much. I don't know if the coin is anything besides just elven coin.
I think it was a good lead.
I think there's something with the sleeping. I like the sleeping takeover.
Because I know there's a tiefling, like the trickster tiefling god of dreams. And I'm like, that's some shit. Because Brun's also got a surprising amount of religious background that is probably less surprising as a recovering Catholic. But yeah, I also I love Duncan as the good cop. It is good cop Duncan is my favorite.
He's got to be. Someone's got to be in a lawless town.
Yeah, in our little lawless cadre.
Where people
Everyone's got their
themselves.
everyone's got their own damn values that they decide to follow. Ugh.
Ugh.
Monsters.
Cultures.
Alright. We got 9 minutes. I'm gonna go grab a small snack because I did not get to eat dinner beforehand. So I'll be right back.
Right. Yeah. How the pieces connect.
Hey, Evan.
Hey, me.
How's it going?
It's going good. I'm excited. Yeah. Been a little sick the last couple of days. I was meeting with my group yesterday, my other D&D group, my campaign.
The in-person crew? Is that why you have the coin out?
Yeah, I have all the monies and stuff here. And I didn't want to get anybody sick, so we decided to do our session in the park yesterday.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah,
Which park did you go to?
The Wanami Park up near where I live. It's just like a little rec park. They have a tennis court and things, and they have picnic tables. So we're like, we'll just play there. And we had a little brunch picnic.
Is that Crestwood?
Crestwood is out in Mountaintop. So to the left of that is the town of Nannycoke. And then slightly to the south of Nannycoke is the town of Wanami, where they have the Wanami Rec Park. It's literally down the road from our house. Because most of our players is me, my girlfriend, and then her cousin and her husband who live down the street here.
Nice.
And then their two friends who live in the next town over.
Gotcha. Okay. I was thinking you were a little farther over to the side.
No, I'm just right outside the Wilkes-Barre area.
D&D in the park sounds lovely.
Mm-hmm. D&D in the park. We actually went on a hike, also by the Wanami Rec Park, and we found this really nice outdoor spot that we think we might play D&D. The problem is it's a half-mile hike to get there first, originally. It might be asking a little bit much.
Go in costume.
It's very, incline-y, up a little mountain. There's like a waterfall next to it. Super nice. Wonderful place. Perfect place to play D&D. However, it might be a big ask.
Yeah, the accessibility of that is a little bit lower.
Mm-hmm.
What's for dinner, Curtis?
Dinner.
What's for 9 o'clock dinner?
My breakfast bars that I
breakfast bars. Yeah, I thought it was brownie. Brownie.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's a big
Weed
brownie.
God, no. That's that ain't my speed. But no, that
Speed.
Speed.
I grew
Speed brownie.
I grew up within 10 miles of Meth Valley. Please, Meth.
I grew up in Florida too.
No, this was in North Central PA. This is in the part where there's Pittsburgh. There's Pittsburgh and Philly, and then there's the nothing in the middle. I'm at the top of the nothing.
Top of the nothing where? Because I grew up. I grew up down in Florida, but my hometown is Selinsgrove.
Okay, I'm from Mansfield.
Oh yeah. I've been through there.
I'm at the top of the pile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Crap Mountain.
I haven't been to Selinsgrove.
There's a professional booth up there.
Yeah, there's a lot of dudes in there. It's all crammed together. No, God, I haven't been to Selinsgrove in fucking ages. I was working an air show, if I remember correctly.
An air show?
Years ago. Yeah.
You were the dude with the
they have
flags?
an airport there. He was the airplane. People were just on his back.
I honestly, the fact that I can sustain flight, hella impressive. No,
it really, honestly.
I was mostly doing, I was in Civil Air Patrol and was working security and parking and flight. I did do a little bit of Flightline stuff just for parking, but not as much as I would have liked. I got to do more of that in Wisconsin for AirVenture, which was a wild time.
Are you a pilot? Have you flown?
I've been in the right seat. I cannot fly. I cannot get my pilot's license because I am fully monochromatic colorblind. It is a real bitch.
That's
is that a red alert or a blue alert? I can't tell.
Well, it's the biggest.
As the plane is crashing straight to the ground.
I don't know what color that cloud is, guys. I think it's brown. We call that litho braking in the business. But no, that's especially airports, especially major ones, have
red and green.
Red and green. They also have a 4-light system, so you can tell if you're at the right elevation. So if you're too low, they're all red. Too high, they're all white. You want too red, too white. It's something I can work on. It's something that my particular brain fucky wuckiness has figured out. But that is like a hard no on all the piloting stuff, which sucks. But yeah, no, I did Civil Air Patrol for a while and got to be in the right seat and do stuff like that, which was a lot of fun. And chatting with World getting to do a walk on and like take a B29 off the taxiway onto the runway so it could take off from AirVenture was fucking wild. Because that thing, they're like the super fortresses are every bit as big as they say.
Man, that's so cool.
It's a building that just decided it doesn't want to be on the ground anymore.
You can't hold me down no more. All right, it's 8:45.
Anyway, we're back. Look at that.
All right,
That's how to end the
banter
story.
over. Look at you guys.
Official banter.
So, on another lap through the the temple area here, you're seeing people are again, like the activity is increasing. The doors at the front where your whole crew had come in through, more folks had been coming in. Groups brought in by guard and paladins alike. There's a murmur of confusion about the Inquisition they saw. People kind of give you a bit of space as they see you moving through. Like, they don't want to be associated. Like, Jepka's words hold meaning, but personal opinions are still going to affect how people act. So people are nervous as they see you moving through. They make sure that whatever they're interested in, whatever is going on around them, is where their attention is rather than at you. They don't want to draw your attention to them by looking too close or paying too close attention. Instead, the oatmeal that they've been served is the most fascinating thing in the entire world right now. So, like, there's some quick glances, some people kind of whispering after you've gone by. The people who were in the back of the crowd who didn't really hear everything or see everything that was going on, they've been filled in a little bit, and rumors are spreading more. About, oh, it was because of this or that, or they did this or whatever. There's several kind of bits of info being passed around, correct or not, as you're making your way through. You head toward where you had last seen Jepka and Bishop Malor, and they're no longer in the hallway. The war table, quote unquote, is currently empty. So, Brun, you are led by the rest of the group back a few doors, and the rest of you return to the room in which you first met Jepka. The door's closed. There's some slight lighting along this hallway, but it's not super bright or anything. As you went down the hallway, similar to earlier, you hear the sounds of exhaustion, where some people are snoring heavily, or you hear armor being donned or doffed. People kind of talking behind closed doors. A lot of different sounds from behind these spaces. And the heat that you had felt from Jepka's room when you had gone in previously, the door is warm at this point and radiating a bit of heat. You get the feeling it's going
tells
to be...
me not to open the door for flashover, but...
You get the feeling that this room is going to be somewhat hellish, but you're pretty confident it is just because of Jepka. What do?
I'm kind of look at everyone else, and if we're all in agreement that we're ready to talk to Jepka, I'll give a nice loud knock against the door.
Before Jepka answers, just as this is more of a logistic note-taking question. Brun currently has the old coin. Is everyone cool with that?
Yes. Here, we should have it.
Who else would have it? Come on.
I just want to make sure that like it's allocated in the future. So when we go, who's got the fucking clue coin? We know where it is. Great.
So, point of contention. Duncan had earlier said that he wanted to put it into his pocket with the emblem from Pivel. Do you want to fight for that coin or not?
No, I'm not
Or are
going
you
to fight
leaving it with
because
him?
actually, if you remember, you can roll back the tape. I gave it then after that to Derek or to Navos, who took it, and then he
Okay.
gave it then to
The
Brian.
coin was put to the question, and now I'm its
I know,
steward.
but you
Cut off
seemed like you
after he
wanted to
answered
keep
point.
it together.
The real question
earlier.
is, did he actually stick it in his mouth or no? Is he a man of his word? Okay.
Oh, absolutely. Just like
Right.
there's like there is a weird like kind of crunching noise that you weren't expecting from teeth on coin.
Teeth on coin.
Like, yeah, that's real. Like pocket. He
crunchy.
sticks it in a different pocket. He sticks it in the pocket with the sending stone, actually.
Okay.
So it makes
All
more
right.
noise.
Fantastic. Clang, 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 clang.
Right.
All right.
Don't.
It takes a moment. Yes, what is it? Who is it?
It
And you
is.
hear clank, clank, clank as somebody comes over to the door, and Jepka pulls the door open. Ah, hello. Ready to have our talk, are we?
Ready as we'll ever be.
Come in, then. And you see behind her Bishop Malor and Paladin Captain Drellis, your favorite, are seated at a
He
table.
doesn't know who I am.
Yeah, there's an old lady walking with you. I keep forgetting that.
Brun's still like you're still holding on to Brun's elbow, like it's fully offered to you.
Why does she give?
Give us
So,
damn
all right, come on.
me.
Focus.
I'm focused.
Yeah, you see the other two at a larger table that's been brought in or pulled off from the side. You're not quite sure. Seated around, and there's a chair that had been pulled out, probably from where Jepka was sitting. And the dogs are out. Not her feet, but the
dogs.
the pups.
The Parhalians. Yeah.
Yeah, the big old sun dogs. They are no longer in their battle-ready form. They are free puppies who are not working right now, and they are
The
getting
vests are
so many
off.
pets.
Union break.
Yeah, they're getting so many pets from Malor. Drellis is uncomfortable around them. There's a healthy amount of respect for these dogs coming from Drellis. So they kind of wave you in, and
And I'll nod at the captain as we enter.
she'll nod back. Face is still stern. The bags under the eyes are deeper, even in the relatively low light in this room. And Duncan, again, you especially are catching at the edge of the light those fibers, those black fibers.
Mhm.
It does seem a little bit thicker right now. But aside from that, the room is mostly unchanged. Good to see you all. Welcome back. I trust your earlier conversation was illuminating for everyone. This is the bishop. Madam, I'm so sorry. I don't think we've met. Bishop Malor, and he'll hold a hand out as he pulls a seat forward for you.
Well, thank you very much. Thane's gonna sit in the chair. That is so kind. We're feeling a little bit old today.
I can understand that. I feel that way some days too. Not clearly in the way that you do, Thane, but he's being genuine about it. And you are, ma'am. I don't recognize you with this crew.
Uh,
It's
Yeah, no,
Thane. It's
Don't.
Thane.
yeah, you know me.
It's Thane.
I'm not going to pretend that I'm someone else. Yeah, it's me
You say with someone else's face.
and voice. But I do appreciate the seat.
It takes him a moment of processing, like, what the heck is going on here? And he kind of like squints at you, squints at everyone else, like trying to figure out if this is a joke, if this is like a try at levity, like what's happening.
Here's a question, actually.
Yeah.
Are our sigils glowing?
As you enter the room, yes. You can
Okay.
feel a little bit of a burn.
Okay, so there is still the sigil over Thane's eye.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Does Granny keep the blindfold?
No, that came off when they had pulled up like that blanket as a cowl.
I see.
My blindfolded grandmother.
Come on,
She sees too much. Yeah, so there's your sigils are faintly glowing. Right then. Well, everyone, have a seat if you'd like.
I very much would like.
I will
And-
stand.
His hands come forward as he takes his seat and fold in front of him on the table. He's kind of leaning on it. You can see that the other three people in this room, they have not really slept. Drellis is showing the most obvious signs of, like, a lack of sleep. The sour temper probably tied to that as well. A lot of she's a spring eladrin currently, still in the spring phase, and the flowers that had kind of adorned her person have since shriveled and faded. And like she's kind of wilty, I'll say, with those dark bags. Malor is... The lines on his face seem deeper than they had the day before. Even when you had asked for numbers of survivors, like that in itself seemed to take a toll in him. And that toll has just built and built and built in the time that you all took to rest. Jepka, as much as she's been like beaten up, battered and such, she's doing pretty well compared to the other two. Like she, as much as she's been fighting and such today, that's her wheelhouse, right? She's doing what she does. So that's kind of the vibe in the room, is tired, exhausted, here to talk and here to get some answers flowing as much as possible. Well, shall we begin?
I think we shall. Indulge me for a moment, if you will, though.
Hand waves as a go ahead.
It's been, a long 24 hours, and I'm, sometimes my eyes don't work as well as they used to. Do you see these floaters in this room here?
Floaters?
We saw them after the explosion, too.
Oh, wait a minute. So you see them too?
Oh, yes.
They're kind of...
Thane does see them, right? Or is it just Duncan?
Mhm. As Duncan kind of draws attention to it, the other three of you who have seen this before, you do start to see, like, as you look closer, it's fairly faint, where if you're not looking at it, the three of you, it's easy to kind of look past it. But Duncan, being the man that he is who takes in tiny details, he caught on to them a little bit quicker than the rest of you, but with him drawing attention, it is pretty obvious to you.
Yes, we see them.
They're not everywhere,
Floaters?
but floaters is a bad word.
They start looking
More
around.
like a fine silk fibers, but black. It kind of seem to be hovering in the air. They're not everywhere, but they're certainly in this room here with us. I don't know.
And the three of them look to each other. They're kind of looking around. Jepka gives a whistle and recalls the dogs back to her halo. You see them start orbiting once again. And where exactly are you seeing these floaters?
It's not a specific place, but kind of around this room here with us.
Now that the floaters are more visible, when the dogs retreat, is there a void where they were, or do they fill that space and sort of just like diffuse through it?
They kind of fill the space. Yeah. Brun, when you met with what the heck was her name? Our tiefling friend in the barn. Piraeus, there we go.
Yes.
When you had met Piraeus, it was dense and thick in there. In this room, it fills space. There, when the fibers had touched you, they fizzled. And if you kind of wave your arm or whatever through them, you see a little bit of that fizzle effect. You don't see that around the others. The others being Jepka, Malor, and Drellis. Yeah. If you were to look at your companions, you would notice it where it kind of fizzles on them as well. The dogs did not have that effect.
We saw them around the were-rat too, didn't we?
You sure did.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them, as he did whatever he did.
Dark nonsense.
Mm-hmm. All over. Here?
In this room, I thought I was just seeing things, but seems like the rest of us actually have seen it. I'm surprised we haven't brought it up till right now. We saw it after the explosion. We saw it during some of our battles through the city on our way to make it to the temple here. They seem to be concentrated around certain individuals, or actually, I'm not really sure.
And the bishop actually pulls out a small notebook. Kind of a weird thing to see. That is, paper isn't like the most common thing ever. It's expensive to make, right? So a whole notebook of it is interesting, but for his station, kind of makes sense. And he starts taking notes. You say it's all over, but how is it acting when you see it? When you look directly at it, is it just in the corner?
Floating there, menacingly.
A fiber that menaces. Okay, all right. You take the note down. And you said it's black. Is it shiny? Is it... does it have a texture to it? And he'll just keep asking all of these detailed questions.
Do they feel like spider webs? Like when we look at them, do they kind of give off the impression of, maybe not even the patterning, but just like the
gossip,
like
so to speak.
Like watching, like a spider web floating in the wind.
Yeah, that'd be pretty accurate to it.
Dark spider webs.
Dark
We did fight some spider webs on our way here too.
They were...
Jepka, yes, we saw a few of those as well. They weren't... Well, they spun webs, yes, but they didn't... Nothing dark or black, just the standard fare.
They are around those who changed.
Yeah.
They're
And-
thickest.
The pen stops for the bishop. Those who changed.
Mhm.
And Drellis, for the first time since you've come in, before or after they changed?
Yes, it was during, right? Because you had that tiefling that was in the process of changing.
Was it in the hallway when you came in?
Not that I noticed. I didn't notice until the door opened and I walked into this room. That's why I wanted to bring it up.
Does that mean someone here is going to change?
Before we jump to conclusions, we really have no answers.
It's not thick enough.
What do you mean thick enough?
Yeah, what do you mean thick enough?
Like the threads are thicker during this change, or
Denser. They are
I see.
not. They don't cover it like a spider cocoon, but they are attached to it, to whatever is changing. We saw them on the were-rat, and I saw them. I have to remember their name. Shit.
Piraeus.
I saw them on Piraeus before the end.
As you say before the end, Jepka's eyes narrow at you because there's an implication as you say that. And you see her consider asking and then decide not to. Instead, nodding slightly in understanding. You're
Brun-
were-rat.
Brun's
Correct.
about to call her out on it,
Mhm.
and then she nods and lets that go.
I'm not sure what you're seeing, but I do believe that you are seeing it. That is a question for another time, I think.
Well, possibly, but I have a sneaking suspicion it has something to do with, and I'm going to kind of put my left hand stump on the table.
Slap that
With
stump on the
it.
table.
Oh, don't
Like a piece of meat.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you not like that?
Poor guy. Leave the man's stump alone.
Yeah, it's my stump. I can do what I want. So I'm going to stump the table, and kind of show to the three of them the sigil that is now kind of like floating above my hand.
And as your hand, your stump, your sigil cuts through the threads, you see that fizzle around them. And give me a moment. Nope. Okay. All right. The bishop is looking intently at this sigil and starts writing some more notes. Does it normally spark, flash, whatever that
so
was?
you did see that.
Can we
So-
It
destroy
seemed
these
to
threads?
It seems to what those burning, that was the threads themselves. As I moved my hand to the air, it had touched those fibers.
I see.
Question. After Brun mentions the density, I know it's only been a few hours since our first meeting with Jepka,
Mm-hmm.
but does it seem to be more dense now after seeing it beforehand?
A bit more, yeah.
Okay.
So Thane's is not like Duncan's. It's since it's in their eye.
Mhm.
Can they stand up and like try to walk through these threads and see if the ones that like impact their face flash and disappear?
You could try. When we had talked about like how much of the sigil you see, or as you try and focus on it, right? You can see something there if you really, really focus. It's kind of like when you become aware of your nose, where like your brain has been. You're welcome.
Thanks for that.
Where your brain has been like filtering it out. But as you're trying to focus on it, you do notice a couple of like little pops of light as you would assume those threads kind of come in contact with your face.
Yeah, Thane's just gonna go cross-eyed and like as this conversation's happening, just try to like zone in on as many of these threads as possible and see if they go away completely or if they fill back in. Just how they are reacting longer term.
You leave a slight path behind you, kind of a wake almost, as if you were a ship in water. And very gently, they kind of drift and fill the space again. Kind of like when the Sundogs were recalled, how there was a bit of a void, and then these fibers gently drifted back and filled the space. As you look closer, like around the candlelight, because it's easiest to see it kind of at that transition zone, like between the dark and light, you have to look a lot closer to notice it, but it is within the candlelight as well. It's just harder to see. It's kind of washed out. And then there was another question as well. Somebody else asked something. Sorry, my sister came down and I got so distracted. Sibling. So Bishop Malor. So does this motioning at your sigil, Duncan?
Mhm.
Is
Mr.
it
Duncan,
always
you can
like
call us
this?
No,
Where
this only.
it's floating like this, or
Well, so far as I've noticed, I only got it
Okay.
after the unfortunate business with Pival. And I'm kind of like nod
Jepka's
at
attention sharpens
Jep.
again. When exactly did it happen that you got these?
So, after Pival's passing away, we all kind of blacked out for a moment, and when I came to, it was kind of floating above where my hand used to be.
And she'll look at the rest of you, because aside from Thane, your marks are covered, and the rest of you,
Mhm.
yours is in your eye. What about you two?
I'll take a bit of my cloak off to show my left shoulder.
Just like Vox.
And
It's like
Why
I
not
was
see?
about to say,
Brun will roll up his sleeve to show the mark on his arm.
flex this muscle, make it dance.
Like Maui
Just
over
flexes and just like breaks the shirt. Just grrrr! There it is. No, it is a like very very practical, like business like gesture. Just here.
I've taken a look and it seems like they're all the same color, kind of repeating symbols in a way, but the way they move is different to each of us.
May I? She gestures to, we'll say Brun is closest to her for right now. Kind of like gesturing, like to take a closer look.
And Brun will offer his arm.
She's looking for tickets to the gun show.
That's next week.
So, as she's kind of like, she kind of pokes a little bit, prods a little bit, kind of trying to manipulate what the sigil around. Some of this is somewhat familiar. These are combinations of several things, several arcane, divine. There's a lot here. I'm not as well practiced in most of this. My casting is very different. But the way it's shifting is nothing I've ever seen. And sometimes for very practiced casters, a long-term spell or spell effect can be manipulated. I've seen some of our more arcane inclined members of the Order. I've seen them do unbelievable things with spells, but this is beyond me. Like this part here is part of a protection spell, and this is it almost reminds me of a detection of evil, and she kind of goes through the different parts of it, like parts that she kind of recognizes. It's kind of like the inscription in Thane's Mask, where you get pieces of it. It's mildly familiar, but you're kind of grasping at certain parts of it. You see that happening here, where there's little bits and pieces that she can kind of pull from it, but it's very, very limited. And like they're very clearly beyond what she's familiar with.
Is this Jebka examining it, or their paladin captain?
This is Jebka, sorry.
Okay. Does she recognize it as Pyvel's magic at all?
Do you want to ask her that?
Sorry. If it's not too sore a subject, does this kind of magic seem something that Pyvel could produce? Maybe a final act of protection.
This is beyond anything he's ever been taught. To my knowledge, I was in charge of a lot of his training, but not all of it, of course. Preparing him for the festival, yes, but his actual studies were varied. Part of his training is was to get a wide range of skills, so he could specialize later. And you see the tears starting up again. She does not hide her emotions, really. And this is powerful. This is advanced, and he would not have had time to learn something like this. If it is his work, and I'm not saying it's not, I don't know. It feels familiar. I can't explain better than that. It feels familiar, but I don't think this is something he could have designed.
Well, until we have better answers, I'd like to think it was a final gift.
Perhaps.
Perhaps for the times to come.
So you believe that this could have been from Pyvel himself?
Possibly. Kind of. He. Like I said.
After the explosion.
Yes. I mean, I will not presume to know the ways of gods or godkin. Perhaps some sort of soul transfer or something. But
And then
I don't know. It
Drellis,
just feels.
she's gonna kind of stand up and, like, hands on the table. This is all fascinating, right? I know nothing of any of this. I don't understand how poking and prodding at these four and whatever this hand flagging at you, at your sigils, whatever this is, how does this help us right now sort the mess outside? Malor, you said you wanted to send them out to Kahlo. Our messenger should be here soon. If you are trusting them, and she's like gritting her teeth at that, like she still doesn't fully believe you guys. She still seems to hold a grudge towards you, but is respecting Jepka here. Then we should get them prepared to leave. Do you four have any more information about this, again, hand waves, that we can get in the notes so that you can go?
Yeah, I can't really think of anything left out of our report. We're just as confused and tired and exhausted as you guys are. And
You mentioned the rat man.
the were-rat, yes, ma'am.
Yes, that one. We did collect him.
Mhm.
What was left of him?
What do you mean?
I do believe he was just he had left him unconscious.
By the time he was recovered, and you see her carefully considering her words, like she doesn't want to give you more information than totally necessary.
Did his rats clean up?
You get this look of disgust from her. There were several bites out of him.
Oh, rats.
Not many pieces all together anymore. But he was still somewhat alive. And like this, like the thought of what she witnessed of this man, like right? He was, last I knew, somewhat alive. But there were pieces missing. Do you think that these fibers, as you call them, they're the floaters, have something to do with that?
There are.
We're just as a loss as you guys are.
She turns to Brun. Because you're seeming like you have something to say.
Mm-hmm.
If we can see them, and you can't, then
A
all
little
we can
twitch
do
of the
is-
eye that she can't do something.
Then we can try to show you. Father, may I see a page of your notebook?
And he'll slide the book over to you. Piece of charcoal to write with.
And I would like to try and draw like a quick sketch of just what the lines look like around, and like kind of caricatures of like myself or Duncan, and then how it looks around Jebka, how it looks around the priest, and like the space in between.
Mhm.
So that with the goal being just like a real rough sketch. So if we get to, because I would like to see the were-rat and then be able to draw the comparison and be like, these are the two things. Here's the control group and here's us.
So, as he slides you the little notebook, you get a look at his notes. They are fine, like very pristine handwriting, very tight, dense writing, a lot of notations. He started making notes of Duncan's sigil and the different states of it as it shifts. There's a lot of attention to detail that you're seeing. Give me a sleight of hand for your drawing check.
Oh, this is going to be so bad.
Aha!
Could I
Just a
give
thick figure with a bunch of lines everywhere.
Hold on. Derek, go ahead.
I want to see about if I could give him advantage by using minor illusion. If I can kind of tell what they're trying to do.
Why don't you propose this as in character?
Oh yeah, because you could just show them.
Yeah, why couldn't you minor illusion just what the fibers look like?
Yeah.
Oh.
Brun,
I think we should reverse roles here.
Yeah, Brun's holding the charcoal, and you could tell like he's holding it like this, and he's real nervous.
Drawing there.
Go ahead, Derek.
I'll get that kid that can draw.
that's a great idea. I see what you're trying to do. I'm not much of an artist either, but I could try to show them with my arcane, and I'll slowly try to draw out what we're seeing. I don't want to make it as dense as we're seeing in person.
Okay. As you pull on the magic that flows through you, you feel a bit of a surge. You kind of start weaving these threads through the air. And to the rest of you, they seem more real than the threads themselves, than the actual fibers you're seeing. Almost like he is painting or drawing these lines directly into the air, and they are there. This is what you're seeing around us.
Yes. In a way, some more dense than others, but in general, this is what they appear as.
Brun, do you still want to try and draw those? Because you can
I
have it at advantage.
I will, like, once kind of look at it, see that it is like true to life. I will turn the book and the charcoal back to Father and go, "Your hands will do better than mine. I do not wish to soil your notebook." and hand it off to him to do. Clearly, he's competent. I'll let him do his thing.
Okay. I will give him advantage then. All right. The way that he draws them out is a little more of a suggestion of it. It's not as like hyper realistic as Brun's brain might have wanted, but you can guide him through kind of the overall, with Nevos manipulating this mirage, this minor illusion, as Brun is pointing out these details of like around this person, it kind of fans out like this, yada yada yada, right? Between the three of you, he can get a pretty decent representation into the book. It takes him a few pages as well.
May we see what's left of the were-rat for comparison.
And Bishop Malor is going to look to Drellis. It's your call. And Jepka's going to look to Drellis with this kind of like mom look almost.
It's your call.
Do you have to?
If it provides us answers.
All right. Fine. All right. You, points to Jepka, may take them to see the Rat Man. I have matters to attend to.
While we're all here, but before we go our separate ways, it was previously asked if there was anything else that we had to disclose or share, and it just makes sense to do that while everyone is here. We did see someone who was working with this Rat Man, and Thane's going to change their appearance again to look like the woman they had seen.
All right. I want another roll for this. What did we have you roll for Sylvia? Was it history?
Yeah, I think it was either history or intelligence, just to see how well I remembered her features.
Yes. Give me another one of those. But I think this one should be disadvantage
Another one.
because of the state you were in.
The old woman state.
No. When you were dazed and had just woken up and
see.
had just kind of caught an eye of this lady. Even though she like looked at you, you had just woken up from an explosion.
Okay, so that is history with disadvantage. 13 on the first and a 17 on the second.
Okay. Run from
Wait,
the angle you had seen.
I subtracted 2. I meant to add 2. So that's a 15 and a 21.
You even run from the angle that you had
That's
gotten of her.
Blackjack.
Not blackjack. I gotta honor that. Oh wait, it was disadvantage.
Yeah, the 15.
Damn.
I don't gotta honor nothing. The silhouette is spot on. Thane, you're fairly confident in the appearance you've put on with the long elven ears. You even get the suggestion of that bark skin that she had going on. It's difficult for you to make like protrusions and like additions to your form.
Yeah.
But like the suggestion of the texture is there. And you can clarify that too with your words. But It's
I-
pretty decent. You can't change the clothes, but
I looked something like this. I was there at the explosion. I was leaving the crowd. I seemed to know what was going on. Does anyone here recognize me?
Brun's
Rolling,
tendons
sorry.
are creaking a little bit, just as he's like closed his hand into a fist.
none of the three recognize you. But Malor is going to do a quick rendition. Again, making those notes, asking more detailed questions about behavior, the way you moved, the way you spoke, if you spoke. Kind of go through those
Thane's,
details with you.
I think Thane's just making up the voice. I don't think Thane had heard her
You
speak.
you had called out to her, but she never really spoke back to you.
Yeah.
From what I
So
recall,
he's just.
I will consult the
No,
tapes.
I think you're. No, I think you're right. So he's just making up the voice.
Okay.
But
Yeah, trying to
since
get
we are
all those
talking-
details.
And then other loose threads. We don't believe in coincidence. So we're treating all of these things as part of this wider conspiracy. And Ron, I think you have the coin we had found. I don't know if anyone can pinpoint where this may. Oh wait, we did say where it had come from. Were there any people attending this festival who belong to Arthani that we know of? Any higher ranking diplomats or people of interest?
Jepka's face scowls. Still a few tears running. Do you mean Atharni?
Yes.
The
Did I not say that
elven
correctly?
city?
Yes.
I feel like that's the equivalent of him just saying Chicago, Chicago.
Los Angeles.
You ever seen a coin from Chicago?
There is a certain lordling who is very fond of his elven heritage.
Ain't
To the
that
point
just grand.
that he does not spend money that was not minted in Atharni.
Is it who I'm thinking of?
That depends.
Someone of the Silverwater
Would you be
clan?
thinking of a certain young Silverwater?
Mm-hmm.
She looks to the bishop like she's ready to fry somebody. Like, y'all felt the heat earlier. The room is starting to boil a little bit around her. Like heat waves in the candlelight at this time. Interestingly, the fibers only vaguely react to the change in the air. Bishop Malor, if I need your assistance, I would hope I have it. This boy has caused enough trouble. And the look on his face is just like, oh shit. Oh no.
Where them dogs at?
That is beside the point. We have a proposition for you four.
Mm-hmm. We're listening.
We don't have answers for what's happening right now. You will see the were-rat. I will take you myself. And from there, I would like to send you with Farney, Twistwind. They are the messenger we'll be sending to Kahlo. We do not have answers, but we know people in the city who might be able to find them. Farney is trusted, and they are very good at making sure that deliveries happen, and that they happen on time. From what we can tell, it is dangerous beyond the walls. It's dangerous inside the walls, but especially beyond right now. We've sent word ahead to Kahlo that we will be sending samples of everything that we can. It would be devastating if they did not reach their destination. Would you accompany Farney to Kahlo to make sure that these materials are delivered so that answers can be had?
And let me know if I'm picking up what you're putting down. Is the Archbishop going to be taking control of these packages when they arrive to the city of Kahlo?
It is too dangerous to send them directly to the Archbishop, and this is not their particular skill set. However, she may be more willing to meet with you for a report than otherwise, if that is clear enough.
Mm-hmm.
And the bishop, I will include a signed writ, a signed and sealed writ, an introduction for you to meet with the Archbishop, rather. Excuse me.
Father, if I may make a request.
Yes.
Could we meet with the Archbishop before we get poked and prodded by a cycle of Moonies?
I would think that getting Farney to the city would be mostly sufficient to increase the odds of your meeting with the Archbishop. I do not hold power over who she does and does not speak with. However, given the current circumstances, I do believe that I can encourage her to meet you. Whether that's before or after any poking or prodding, that is not part of what I'm asking of you. What we are asking of you. We want to make sure that these materials are delivered, that this information gets where it needs to go.
I understand, Father, but there are several who would consider us also, sort of gesturing towards all of our shining parts. We are also material. A little humanity may go a long way.
Our communications are limited with the great city. We do not have much magic to spare.
Simply
I
a
will see
line
what
in the
can be
writ.
done.
Simply a line in the writ would be a sufficient attempt, Father, and would be much appreciated.
2 letters, then. 1 to get you into the city, and 1 for the Archbishop. It's been a long night. Please.
Thane,
Hmm.
Thane looks like Thane again. The Thane that you all have known.
Come to love.
Yeah. You've mentioned a couple times now that you hold little power within Callow or against Callow.
No.
No. What is? I mean, we already know that Silverwater is no fan of us. Our assumption is that he is going to be in this city. Am I correct in that?
After they left Alrith, we don't know where they've gone. I could not say one way or the other, but the family does have holdings in Carlo.
What
The elder
stops?
is on the council there.
What do we do in the event that a member of Family Silverwater accosts us either on the road or when we arrive?
And Jepka's gonna cut in. If Silverwater dares to interfere with the saving of this town, I will personally ensure that he suffers for every single person that has gone unrecovered.
And like the good father
She is
said,
seething.
like the
She
good father
is-
said, it's dangerous on the road.
Jepka is seething at everything. Like, every time Silverwater has come up in the past 24 hours has been just an additional part of her aneurysm, right? Just added pressure to the blood vessel that is about to burst on her forehead. I will be returning to the city as soon as I can. I will be here in the meantime, assisting with efforts.
Mhm.
But I will be making my way, hopefully shortly after you 4. 5 with Farney. I will do what I can with the power I wield to ensure that you remain unaccosted by the Silverwater family. They will not escape judgment again.
Thank you.
Do you have anything else you would like to include in my notes here?
Will the notes be going with us to Kahlo?
A copy, yes.
Then we should get you a sketch of whatever is near our were-rat companion for comparison. I'm not sure. Actually, GM question. Do I remember how much of the fibers were left after Piraeus' death?
Piraeus was in a very densely packed room.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot kind of trapped in that room. After her demise, you had covered her and left. You didn't really stick around very long.
Okay. I do not know if these will stick around after the demise of one of the changed, but having a live participant may be more useful.
Drellis over on the side was just like, heh, just a little bit. Just a little gag. Fantastic. In that case, Jepka, would you please take them to see our live participant so that we can continue helping the people of this town? Thank you for your assistance, you four. And she's going to, like, very stiffly walk toward the door, give, like, a very short bow, and leave. Any last anythings for right now? Are you four prepared to go over to see the Rat Man?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just had a
Okay.
question for Jepka as we're on the way.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes, Navos.
I'll say
Been
I
very quiet.
showed her my shoulder after Bruns. Just a question. Do you see the same effects between Brun and mine? I know they move different, but do mine also have the protection, the detection? Does it seem different?
She'll take a look. Keep in mind, she's a halfling, so you're gonna have to crouch real awkward for her to be able to reach your shoulder. Like, even if she stood on a chair, it'd be a little awkward. So it's not, like, a comfortable thing for you. So, again, I don't know a lot about this. There's a part of, protection from good and evil. There's yours is harder for me to read. I'm sorry. I would assume it's very similar. Again, it feels familiar, if that helps.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know the parts of it, I'm afraid.
Okay, was just curious.
Hmm.
Do you know any way we could maybe utilize it in a way, or someone we could check with?
Perhaps. The people we intend to send these materials to, they are incredibly smart. However, they are not the most personable. We may know there may be a different contact in the city who is less tied to one particular path of magic that may be better suited to a case such as this. I'll ensure that included with all of the materials you're given before you leave, you have directions to find them.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for being honest and genuine. There are so many people in the great city of Kahlo, and the withholding of truth is wearing. It's everywhere, unfortunately. You have been a breath of fresh air in that regard. And I appreciate it. And in a way, it feels like Pival has done something immense to help so many. And I thank you for that as well.
I appreciate it. I don't think it's... I need to do it at least out of respect for him and the others I've met here. And I hope we can get some kind of answer.
You have a year. I look forward to the answers you find. Let's get you to your were-rat. See if we can't start that journey.